You know that feeling when you're playing with an AI tool and it just feels like pure magic? You type in a few words and poof, something brand new exists. But what happens when that magic just stops and you're left with a question the machine can't or won't answer?
So, check this out. A friend, Andrew Flan, is using an AI music generator. He wants to make a tribute to David Bowie's Ashes to Ashes. The AI comes back with this clever title, Ashes to Glasses. Perfect, right? But then he clicks the link and all he gets is one word, unavailable. His friend's response pretty much sums up the whole experience. Weird.
And that's the whole deal with these new creative AIs, isn't it? The experience is so smooth, it's incredible. It feels like this direct pipeline from your brain to a finished thing. But when it breaks, there's no error code, no explanation. It just stops. The magic just evaporates, and you're completely in the dark.
That little weird moment, it just cracks open this massive question. When the AI messes up, who's on the hook for it? Is it you, the person who programmed it, the data it learned from? This is the ghost in the machine we're going to decode today, the very real ethics of AI.
And listen, this isn't just some philosophical debate for a coffee shop. Experts are, right now, actively building a global rulebook for AI. The conversation has totally shifted from, can we build this thing, to, wait a minute, should we build it? And if we do, how do we do it right?
So, to really get into this, we need to use the right language. The experts call these things autonomous and intelligent systems, or AIS for short. It's a really broad term, but it covers basically any system that can make its own choices, from that song generator to a self-driving car.
Now, one of the major forces behind this blueprint is the IEEE. It's this huge global organization of engineers. And their mission here isn't about making faster chips or anything like that. It's about putting ethics first for the benefit of humanity. It's a project that's all about people, from the ground up.
So how do we actually get there? Well, the IEEE's framework is called Ethically Aligned Design, and it's built on these core ideas they call the 3 pillars. You can think of them as the new, non-negotiable rules for anyone building the AIs that we use every single day.
The very first pillar is accountability. And this one is a game changer. It basically says that an AI system has to be able to give a clear, straightforward reason for every single decision it makes. No more mystery, no more computer says no. It has to be able to explain itself.
This shows you what a huge shift in thinking this is. For decades, we've kind of just accepted that computers are these black boxes. If something went wrong, well, that's just what computers do. The new rule, the new ethical demand, is that we have to be able to ask why and get a real answer. So for our song, accountability means we should know exactly why Ashes to Glasses was unavailable. The next pillar, transparency, builds right on top of that. So if accountability is the why, transparency is the how. It means the whole process behind a decision needs to be discoverable. For that song, was it blocked by a copyright filter? Was it just a random bug? A content policy violation? Transparency means we should be able to find out.
And this third pillar, well-being, it completely changes the definition of success. It's not good enough anymore for an AI to just do what it's told. The main goal, the primary success metric, has to be whether it actually increases human well-being. That's a massive leap from just caring about function to caring about human impact.
And this question really gets to the heart of it, right? An AI that's focused on well-being doesn't just ask, did I make the song? It has to ask, what is the effect of this song? How does it affect Andrew's creative process? How does it honor David Bowie's legacy, or maybe detract from it? How does the whole community of fans feel? It widens the AI's perspective to the entire human ecosystem that surrounds it.
But that brings up a really tricky point. Whose definition of well-being are we even using? And this is where the whole framework gets really fascinating, because the technology that billions of people use can't just be built on the ethical ideas of one small part of the world.
The IEEE document is super clear about this. It specifically warns against the monopoly of Western ethical traditions. Let's face it, a lot of today's tech comes from a very Western, individualistic viewpoint, where what I want, the single user, is the most important thing. But that is not the only way to see the world.
So, the report highlights other traditions, for example, Ubuntu, a philosophy from sub-Saharan Africa. The core idea is a person through other persons. My identity is defined by my relationships with you, with my community. It's a profound shift from me to we. I am because we are.
So what would an AI that's built on Ubuntu principles even look like? Well, instead of just optimizing for what one user wants, it might start asking these kinds of questions.
Our song generator might try to create music that brings the Bowie fan community closer together, or maybe encourages people to collaborate, instead of just spitting out a song for one person. It's a totally different way to think about design.
Okay, so we've looked at the massive global picture, these principles for the people building the tech. But what about us, the people who actually use it? The framework says that for AI to be truly ethical, it has to empower us, the users, in a pretty radical new way.
And that brings us to this powerful idea called data agency. The concept is that you should have the final say, the ultimate control over your digital identity and all the data that makes it up. We're not just talking about privacy settings here. This is about a fundamental right to control how you even exist in the digital world.
And this isn't just an abstract idea, they make it really practical. First, you create your own terms and conditions. Yeah, instead of scrolling through 50 pages of legalese, you set the rules. Second, you curate a personal AI agent. Think of it like your own digital lawyer that goes out and enforces your terms automatically. And third, you control how your data is used down the line, kind of like a copyright. If someone uses your data, you know about it and you have a say. It's not just about privacy, it's about you owning a piece of the economy that's being built with our data.
So the bottom line here is this. Data agency completely flips the power dynamic of the internet. You go from being a passive user who just clicks agree to get to the next screen to being an active agent who actually sets the terms of the deal.
And that brings us right back to where we started. From one weird error message to a global blueprint for ethics, the big idea is the same. These tools are becoming more than just tools. They're becoming our partners. And like any good partnership, this one needs to be built on clear, fair, ethical terms. The only question left is, what are yours?